Hey everybody, this is Tom from the Small Scale Life Podcast. Hey, welcome to the garden. This is the first time I've done a podcast slash vlog from the garden here in Richmond. So thought I would give this a try. It's a beautiful night out, so why not sit in the garden and record a video, right? You just learn something new every time you get in the garden, and today is no exception. We're gonna talk about a few things and catch you up to speed. So it has been a busy few months here at Small Scale Life. I did a video back in the end of May, a podcast back in the end of May, where I talked about, all the things that needed to happen to get this garden up and running, and here we are. I'm sitting in it. I'm sitting between the rows right now. Hold on, everybody, don't get sick. There you go. So I've got tomatoes to the right. I've got zucchini. I've got broccoli and basil to the left. Behind me, I've got cucumbers and green beans. I've got green beans in this wicking bed. So it has been a blitz. So busy. And so we finished up, last time we finished up, talked, he's getting done with the 30-day Whole 30 challenge, and that went really well. That was the second one back to back, and I was getting a little tired of it at the end. It's a pretty restrictive diet, but things went well with the Whole 30-day challenge, and over those two challenges I lost over 25 pounds, so that was really exciting to get there, and super excited about that. And I'm looking forward to the new book coming out, which should be coming out at the end of the month here. So there'll be a new Whole 30 book, digging into that, and then maybe running another Whole 30 challenge with the new process and see what changes have been made. So I'm looking forward to that. In the meantime, holy cow, we got done with that challenge, and it was go time. I had to build this garden, and the last time we talked, I had to put in all of these posts, build gates, get the mulch down. You can see the mulch there on the ground back here. Build the gate. You can see the gate here. I've got another gate here. I had to build all that and put it in place and hope that it was going to work. And obviously it did. Oh, and then I had to put the wicking beds in place and build the new hybrid rain gutter grow systems, get those in place, get those operational, get everything planted. Oh my gosh, and now we're here. So it was a busy June, it was a busy July, and now we're at the beginning of August. So I apologize for being gone again and just kind of diving down the rabbit hole of getting stuff done, but sometimes you got to do that. You got to get into monk mode and get focused and get the projects done. So GSD, get stuff done, right? So I'm going to be slapping a few mosquitoes here. It's not going to be totally perfect, but hey, that's what life is. That's what small scale life is. It's not totally perfect. So let's talk about this garden. It's been fun. The garden itself is, I believe it's 15 feet wide, and it's about 50 feet long, 45 feet long, and it's a weird shape. It's a trapezoid shape, so it isn't perfectly square. It's on a hill, so everything is sloping towards the water this way. And so if you know anything about wicking beds and rain gutter grow systems, you need to have the beds level. And that was a challenge, to get everything level, or at least the beds level, and not have to dig into the earth, do a bunch of earth work. I did not want to do that, so I didn't. So I leveled each tank, leveled each table, and just went from there. So I mean, you can do that. You can get a bobcat or start digging and level everything out, but that's going to take a lot of sweat, a lot of work, a lot of time, and we just didn't have all of those if I wanted to actually garden. So I put down a border around this garden here. I'm going to show you. You can see the let's see, maybe you can't see it here. Really hard to see, but you can see right here that black border between the grass and the mulch. So I put that in, had to dig all that in. Then I put landscape fabric down because I really want to control weeds in this garden area. So I put landscape fabric down to keep the weeds down. Then we had to get mulch, and that was Mulch Mountain. That was a big effort. I tried to use free mulch from the compost lot, but it wasn't that great. So we got a huge dump truck load full of mulch. And we have mulched so much around this place. It's been amazing. But that was pretty much June, is mulch, landscape fabric, dig 13 posts in, put it in all these posts all around. And then put up the fencing. So you can see I've got fencing. The fences here are 6 feet high. We have not had any deer jump in yet. They can jump 6 feet. That's not a problem for them, but we put in the fencing. I whisper. Yoga kitty's coming in to check out. Then had to build the gates, because what good is a fence if you don't have gates? So you can see one of the gates right here. It is about 5 feet wide and 6 feet tall. And I put that diamond shape in it. It goes back to Old Norse runes, and that is actually the rune Ingwas, which means seed, new beginning, hope, planting. And so I really thought that was kind of cool, and it looks really cool too. So it's like you're coming into a portal, because this is a very cool place, right on the water, and I just wanted it to be kind of cool. So that's what I did. The gate over here is not anything too special. It's just a rectangular door, and put in the hardware, got all that done. So I had to build those and put them in place. That was a really nice project. And then it was time to get the wicking beds in place, fill those up with compost and soil. And actually I'm using a 30-30 blend, 30-30-30 blend of compost, vermiculite or perlite. I've used both. And then peat moss. So actually the 2 wicking bed tubs right here are doing really well. I use compost from the local compost yard, and use that to as much as I could. For the wicking bed tables, the hybrid rain gutter grow systems, I used more commercially available soil with peat moss and vermiculite. And you know, those have been a little slower. They got planted later. Obviously I got these tomatoes in and they took off. The tomatoes have been great. You can see them here. They're growing really well. I've got about 4 or 5 different varieties in here. And then I also put beans, pole beans down the middle. And really these are my sacrificial pawns. If I get some beans out of them, great, but they are providing nutrients in the soil. So they are providing nitrogen for these tomatoes. And I've had good luck where I've intercropped like that before. And so the beans are just feeding these tomato plants, and it's working out really well. In this bed, I had some broccoli. I had some a cabbage. I had several broccoli plants, but squirrels happened. So I've had squirrels digging stuff up, and so I've been fighting those. Not really fighting them, but just kind of trying to get through. And now it's that time of year. You know what time of year it is. I'll show you what time of year it is. Yes, right here. Let's see my little babies here. I'm looking at my broccolis right now, and I'll show you what I've got. So just looking at my broccolis, everybody who's a gardener knows what this guy is. You can see him. That are one of these little cabbage worms, and they are eating up. They're starting to eat on the broccoli and the cabbage leaves. So find these. They are the same color. You kind of see it right here in the middle. They are the same color as your leaf. You can see it there if you're watching the video. If you're listening, if you notice your broccoli or your cabbage or your Brussels sprout leaves are getting all kinds of little holes, and you also see little black flakes on the leaves and the stem, you've got these little cabbage moth caterpillars. So you're going to want to find them and eliminate them, okay? Because they will eat your plants and damage them, and then you won't get your your broccoli, cabbage, cauliflower, or your Brussels sprouts, your brassicas. So be looking for that, okay? So there's one right here. That's what they look like. If you're watching the video, you can see that little green guy, and they're gonna go bye-bye. We don't want those. So I see one. I saw, oh, here's another one. Oh, there's a couple of them. So, you know, if you're in your garden and let's see if you can see them there. Oops, tough to see them, but here's one here, and well, there was one. Here's another one here. But if you're in the garden and you see those little white moths flying by and you're like, oh, they're so pretty, little white moths with a black spot on them, those are the cabbage moths. So yeah, you don't like those. So that's 3 now that I've taken off this broccoli plant, and don't worry, here is number 4. So that one is also not going to be bothering my plants anymore. It's just the way it is. So yes, broccoli, basil, zucchini right behind me. You can see the zucchini, it's doing really great. Just picked off 2 new zucchini. I've got another couple coming. Others in the Small Scale Life Telegram group. Yes, we have a Telegram chat group. We've been talking about zucchini today, and some people have said they've heard that the zucchini are going really slow. That's not been my experience here. We are growing good zucchini here. I picked off 5 already in the past 2 weeks, so that's exciting. I've got 3 more coming. What has been growing slow for me, and other gardeners have confirmed this as well, peppers. Peppers, this has been a weird year for peppers. Been really struggling with peppers. So my peppers have stunk. They just have not been good. And sometimes you win, sometimes you don't. Also, what's happened is the squirrels have been digging some of them up as well. And I was really excited because I have the beaver dam peppers were growing, and it's like they hit a wall and they were just done. So we'll see what happens. I have a few peppers left, but most of it is, most of those 2 wicking beds behind me, the rain gutter grow systems, they are beans, cucumbers. I've got a couple peppers in there, and I have 3 tomato plants that were really kind of sluggish, and this week, for some reason, they just decided to start taking off. So it's kind of exciting to see those start to grow as well. So I really wanted to experiment with those, see what I could grow with them. I've got some ideas for modifications on how to improve that system for next year, how I want to grow versus, you know, having just a standard hybrid rain gutter grow system. So some people do really good with those, some people not so much. I don't know, we'll see what happens. I've got some ideas on how I might want to go about that in the future, but that would be modifying my 2 garden beds already, and I just built the darn thing. So other than that, just looking at my broccoli as I'm thinking, you know, things have been busy. Getting this garden done was a huge one. There was also, if you've been watching the Small Scale Life YouTube channel, you saw a project that I was taking on here 2 weekends ago, and that was a free little library project. So we have a little library. We had one in North Minneapolis, and we left it at that house when we moved. And we haven't had a chance to build any. I mean, we're out in the farm in Maiden Rock. We're pretty remote, and it's not like we're gonna have people walking down the street and picking up books. And most people are zipping by at 60 miles an hour, and they wouldn't even stop for the books. So it's a little different story here, because there were just 3 kids that were walking down the street. We have people going by all the time. We are on one of the, probably the 3rd busiest street here, maybe the 4th busiest street here in Richmond, right by City Hall, right by a big park, and right on the pond. So having some books here for people to see and to take, that's going to be huge. It's really part of our community outreach. Building that community is have something here for people to take with them. Right now it's just commercially available books. I'm going to put some homesteading magazines out there. some things that I've got, I'll put out there. And really what I want to do, where I want to take that, is to have some of my own publications out there, some of my own how-tos, and just have them for people, you know, the how to start seeds guide, have that in there, maybe how to build a wicking garden, have that in there, maybe something on native plants, because we have native plants right here on the shoreline and we're going to enhance that, maybe some recipes, I don't know. You know, Amy Dingman has a Farmish Kind of Life, the Farmish newspaper, or the Farmish papers. I don't know if I would be that industrious to do something like that, but maybe so. But that is an idea, but I had to build the flower garden, extend the flower garden, and then get that little library in there. So that was a project that I was focused on a couple weeks ago. So yeah. There's just been a lot. You can't see it, but over my right shoulder there is a whole flower garden area that has some hydrangea, some weigelia, some other plants in there, some trees. We mulched that. Over on the west side of the property, we call it the alleyway. Oh, train's coming. I can hear the train coming. We have the alleyway, and we had to mulch that, weed that, mulch that, and of course mulch in the front yard too. So it has been a busy spring. Oh man. Well, why not? I haven't shown many trains on my content, but we'll do that today. Why not? You can see the pond over here. We literally are on the shoreline, and the train heading to Stevens Point, Wisconsin is going to come through here in a second. So you can hear the rumble as it comes by. There you go. Nice. There they go, heading east. Very nice. How about that action? So this is the garden. This is my backyard. It's so me. Oh man, this is why we're here. So, you know, I really did love the farm. I loved being on the farm. I loved the whole idea of being on the farm. It was a lot of work. I understood what we were, I had kind of had a vision there, but not the whole vision. The issue was what I thought we could do and what we could actually do. Two different things. And the little house just was not going to cooperate with us. And to do really what we wanted to do, what we're doing here, we would have had to bulldoze that house and build new. And at the end of the day, it was just too remote for us. So homesteaders, I'll leave this with you. Wannabe homesteaders, people who are just getting into the homesteading thing, and really think about what you're doing and where you're putting yourself, because if you're on the fringe, it's a good spot to be, just like outside of town, like a couple miles that way, you're in country. So look at that. If you're really remote, out in that far off rural, way away from the fringe, you're remote, that gets tricky because it'll take time to get to the store to get materials, right? So for us to go to for us to go to Red Wing, it was a 40-minute drive one way to get to the Menards, the big box store, to get building supplies, right? And to get to the small hardware store, it was maybe 10 minutes, but they might not have what you needed, or it was super expensive, or the place was closed. So really think about that before you jump in and buy a property. We were fortunate. We bought the property, we sold the property. We were like the only property in Pierce County, Wisconsin that had acreage. So it went just like that. Others, this is a different market. This was a year ago, over a year ago. So it's a different market now. You might not be able to sell as fast as you bought, okay? You might not get the price that you're looking for either. We did. So keep that in mind. Really think about it before you jump, okay? So yeah, that was a little advice for you as you're thinking about the homesteading thing. I'm super excited. I know I've been quiet, but I've got a lot to say. I was just talking with my friend Amy Dingman about this morning. You know, the world is on fire right now. We have a massive presidential election. We have war in the Middle East. We have war in Eastern Europe. We have Bangladesh has overthrown their government. We have trouble in the UK. We've got trouble around the globe. And there is a message to be said. I mean, we can drive ourselves crazy looking at all this stuff and just worrying about it all the time. But we're here right now. And what are you gonna do? You got your four walls and your ceiling. You've got your four corners of your property, or maybe it's not quite four corners. Hell, in our Maiden Rock place, it was like a panhandle, or it's like a dish pan, or like a stove pan. So, you know, you've got your property lines, you've got your neighborhood, you got your community. Get engaged there. Thinking about these things in far off places will drive you crazy. So focus on what you can control. Your four walls, your ceiling, your roof, your four corners. Get that going, get that all set. Work with your neighbors. Start to connect to your neighbors, connect with your neighborhood, connect with your community. Get going there. Know some people, especially for those of us who've been digital nomads, like myself. Got to build some connections. Got to build some community right here. I love my online community. I love you all. But I can't borrow a cup of sugar from you. So we're going to have to put ourselves out there and get connected with the locals. That's what we're going to be doing. That's what we're going to do for the folks. But it's up to us to reach out. And it might be up to you to reach out too. So anyway, I'm getting a little long here, long-winded. Wanted to give you a quick garden update. Again, you can learn something new every time you go into the garden. And this is my first garden podcast, sitting in the garden here in the small scale garden at the Landing in New Richmond. It's pretty cool, pretty cool. On the banks of the Willow River with trains going by. I mean, holy cow, right? This is like paradise for me, right? It's not the little farm, but it's really, really cool. So, hope you all have a great day. Hope you found this interesting. You know, give gardening a try, you know? Maybe your outreach is giving some zucchini to the whole neighborhood and feeding the whole neighborhood. That's another thing too. When we left Illinois, I had the square foot gardens, and we had this. I built this big long tomato bed there. It was my third garden bed, and the year after we left. That's a whole nother story, but the house, nobody was living in the house. We had neighbors cutting grass, and the volunteer tomatoes grew. And so I fed the whole neighborhood. When we were gone, they would come over and get the tomatoes, the volunteer tomatoes, which was really cool. So feed the neighborhood, feed your peeps. It's a great way to build community. So this is Tom from Small Scale Life. Remember to learn, do, grow, be a little better every day. And that, my friends, is truly a good thing. And this is a great thing, right? Put in the work, get it done, enjoy it, share it. All right, we'll see you real soon. Take care, everybody.